slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love.
Hello traders, it's my hope that you are all doing fantastic and I'm doing great as well. Welcome back to my channel, and as well as you know that this is the channel that you'll always receive the gym necessary needed, because here we speak about the reality of what it truly takes about trading. As well, we cover the spiritual side of things and as well the entrepreneurship world. So guys, into today's video I want to cover mainly into the technicals, because I haven't touched that for a very long time. And the reason being is that I thought that I could first lay out the foundation of what and where one can really get the gyms before we jump into the technicals. Because sometimes if you jump straight to the technicals, some individuals are quite so new in the trading space. They won't understand specifically what it truly takes in starting or where to start. So I'll be sharing my experience in the technical world from today, so stay tuned for more videos regarding the technical side of things. And by the way, if it's your first time to tune in into my channel, please don't forget to share, to like and subscribe to the channel, because that will really help us a lot to really grow and impact more people. So without any further ado, I want to jump straight to the chart work so that you can really understand what I'm about to cover. And by the way, stick to the end, because there is where you'll get the most out of the list. Because sometimes you won't understand the bigger picture until you're in the position to go to the video until the end of it. If you just skip, you'll be missing some few information, which that particular information could change your life, could change the way you pursue the market. So I'll be covering mainly into the Falcon way of trading, because that is where my power is. So I should be proud of myself, and there's where I've been raised, by the way. So I should make sure that I'm always delivering the clarity and making it simple as the system it is. So without any further ado, let's begin. I want to walk you through on how you can really understand the Falcon way and on how we truly trade. And there's some few things that I'll be sharing, especially with this first video, to really lay out the foundation of what you should be doing, because Falcon way of trading is a scientific way of trading. You cannot get any other system that is purely aligning with the market for so many years. That is just the experience that I've gained over the years, because this is scientific. If you just skip one particular level, it will just force you to go back and really start afresh, because there are some areas that you need to improve. So the first thing that I would say that is first mastering your technicals, especially with the mechanics. So watch the video thoroughly using the 3-step process, and then when it comes now to do the exercise, this is the first exercise that I will recommend you, because this will impact a lot in understanding the quality of the trades as you move forward. And today I will share a simple way of really doing this exercise. And the exercise is about the pattern identification. It's about the pattern identification. Now, why do we do the pattern identification, and why is it important to understand it in the first place? We have to understand that in the markets, especially with the Falcon way, patterns really help us to understand of how we are positioned on the movement that is likely to happen, as well executing the trades. So we have those patterns that help us, and we have the structures which help us as well to identify that. So if there is a first number one thing that I would say, in order to master the system, you should first master the pattern identification, because when you understand the patterns well, is when also the structures you'll be already covering them as well. So what you're supposed to do is first understand all the patterns that we take within the Falcon way of trading. Then once you understand that, is when then you can go into the live market and really dissect those particular patterns. So guys, I will instruct you on how now you can really identify those particular patterns in a more simple and straightforward way, and let me know in the comment section How do you find this methodology if it works as well for you? So on myself, on my end, I normally come to identify these particular footprints which the market always leaves, because it always gives us like some sort of swings, and when you connect these particular dots is when you see, okay, we have something over there, we have something over there. Is that the pattern that we understand? Yes, we understand. Which type of pattern is this? It's an descending one, not the perfect one. However, let us move again on this particular piece of information over here, just to be specific. Do you see how the price is ranging over there? Do you see how the price is ranging over there? Which kind of pattern is this? Is a continuation. We already understand that. Let's go and identify another piece of information over here. Do you see that this particular low? Do you see this particular low? Do you see that high? Do you see that high? Do you see that high? Now let us connect those particular dots and see what is happening there. A clear expanding that we can really understand. Look, this high, this low, this high, this low, this high. If we connect the dots, what is happening there? It's a clear and expanding. Look on how the price is ranging between these particular pieces. Clear continuation. So this particular method really helps you to spot on the patterns, very simple and easily. The only thing that you're supposed to do as a trader is that you need first to understand the patterns black and white by clearly putting them in your mind, clearly having them in your brain. So that's the number one thing that I would suggest. Then once you are good with that, it's when now you go to the next step, which I'm just instructing here generally, but it's something that you are supposed to do it step by step, because you have to do a lot of these exercises that will help you to highlight the highs and lows, and also identifying those patterns. And then the second thing is that you need now to understand what particular value areas are aligning with those particular areas, so that you can really spot them and understand the reasons behind the trade that you are looking, or the piece of information that you are looking. Okay, for instance here, this is our number one example. This is the low, this is the low we have there, and price has been ranging there. If we mark this particular piece of information, what do we get there? It's an expanding, right? So if I plot this expanding over there, by the way, I'm using the higher time frame, which is the daily time frame, so you don't need to worry too much about it. So the only thing is that this is an example. So after you plot this particular piece of information, you need now to understand, is there any value area that really aligns with that? I can see that. Which area is this one? Now, area over here caused this particular aggression of price to move to the downside. Now this exercise, what will give you the advantage on is that it will help you to really understand where the value areas are positioned, so the market won't just go by without doing the things. That's why we are doing these exercises to spot those ones. Okay, let's go to another example over here. We can see here we had that high, here we had that high, there we had that high, we had that low, we had that low. Now let's connect this piece of information together. We have a clear expanding over there, and let's find the reason of this particular trade to play out. Was there any reason for this to play out? Was there any value area that we have considered into those particular areas? Yes, there was. Where it is over here. If we just, this was the area that we cleared. Can we all see that? That's the area that we cleared. Then price went back to retest on the back end of that. We had the impasse, and now this was a clear continuation, which caused this aggression in price, or movement in price to the downside. So what I want you to take from this is that first is the areas, secondly is the structures. So we start with the areas to understand where the value areas are located and which type of patterns or structures do we see around the areas. Because when you understand that, when you come now breaking down your pairs or stacking on the confluences of taking or executing the trade, that will become more easier for you to understand, okay, this was the reason, this was the reason, and this was the reason behind this particular trade. And I'll show you over here specifically by just cutting here the piece of information, and we go together. Okay, so let's take an example. This is the area that we've been looking, right? And this is the daily time frame, right? We already spot that particular area, So from the higher time frame, I understand, and I already got the clear picture that I have an expanding structure which has 1 2 3 touches, and we have reached at the third touch. And now let us go to the lower time frame and see what's happening in the lower time frame. Now from the lower time frame, we start now stacking the confluences of why this structure has been developed or formed for the price to really move to the downside. Let's stack the confluence over here and see that. Now if you just come over here, you'll see there is a little tiny piece of information there, which we can see it very clearly from 1 hour. Okay, we can see that very clearly from the 1 hour. Okay, one can say, okay, what about that particular area? Okay, that is an extension. We don't use the trend line as something that will stick too much, but trend line are the guidelines. However, this double top formation, we can take it as a double top formation, because if you just clearly remove that and see the ray line over there, you'll understand that, okay, this was a piece of its own which caused the movement to the downside. We had a little bit of volume over there that we builded, caused that one, and again this all piece of information over there wanted to come to this area, but it failed, it moved. Same goes to there, and now price has just come back to the exact area over there that we can really see. And that is why the trend line at these stages that doesn't really play that much of a bigger impact. However, we can see the reason behind as to why we were looking for this structure to really come to the downside. Now if we come to the 1 hour time frame, you'll see that we have this particular piece of information over there, which is our footprint over there, right? And we can consider that piece of information that we have as a double top formation. So those were more than enough confluences for us to really take advantage of that. I'm not touching on the entries as for now, because I'll touch them at a later stages. But the key thing that I was highlighting to you over here is that any structure or patterns that forms, there must be an area where has caused that particular information to play out or to have its movement in the first place. So when you understand clearly the patterns, when you understand clearly the structures and the areas that we are in, or the areas that we are in, is when now you can really benefit from the market, because that will give you a clear picture and a nice overview of what you'll be looking in the first place. So let's just see how it really played out, because this is what we can see from the market. We can see that price was now taking more of its time. Let's just speed up that a little bit so that we can see it together. But all of this information that we can see as the market playing out now, they did not play as just playing out. There were structures or patterns over there which intersected with the value area for the movement to happen in the first place. That's why I emphasize you, the first exercise that you need to do is the pattern separation. Then once you are very good with the pattern separation, start reasoning what are the area value that you see that are aligning with that particular pattern or structure, and then from there is when now you can build the confluences to take your trades. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and let me know your major takeaway into this video, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be sharing more gems into the technical, and everything will be catching up and aligning. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, and see you in the next video. God bless.